Hello, once again, everybody. It's your boy, Mr. David. And today I am doing a review of a wonderful anime I recently checked out called Erased. Now, if you guys haven't seen this show and you might be interested, I strongly suggest you watch it before you see this video. It is very good. There's only one season and 12 episodes, and it's on Netflix. So if you seem like you might be interested, I strongly suggest that you check it out. Okay, because there will be spoilers. There will be spoilers in this video. Now, if you have seen it, or you just don't care for the show or whatever, then stay tuned. So, my thoughts on Erased. I personally think Erased is the best anime I have seen in my life. Honestly, like, one of the best. Okay, I literally give it a 10 out of 10 because this show is not only down to earth, it is very deep and inspiring. Like it hits you right in the feels, my dude. Oh my gosh. This show is amazing. It is just heartfelt and wholesome. And there were times where it almost makes you want to cry because of the deep emotional moments that are in this show. Oh my gosh. The story itself is like something out of a novel almost. Like something out of a good book. So, honestly, I think one of the biggest part of the show that got me the most was the episodes that evolved around Kyo, who is the little girl in the red clothing that you see right here next to me in the picture. Now, what's special about her is she is one out of 3 victims of a murderer who goes around killing little kids. And she's one out of the 3 major kids who got killed or kidnapped and killed in the main character's not life. These kids went to his class, and all 3 of them were kidnapped and killed. And but one of the biggest regrets that he had growing up was that he could not save Kyo. And so what makes the first few episodes very emotional for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, is the fact that this little girl right here is living with not a single mother, but a mother who has a boyfriend. And this poor thing right here is the victim of child abuse. And it's just sad, and later on in the show there is a breakfast scene where Kyo gets to have a nice, good, warm, whole breakfast for the first time in probably her whole life, causing her to eventually break out in tears. And before that we end up getting a scene where she has a flashback to how she used to eat. Like she would eat instant ramen. She would then be left with a slice of bread and then just a pocket change. And then so seeing her break out in tears, you just see those tears of joy, and it just makes you want to cry next because it's so deep. And what makes it very deep is the fact that you can actually relate all of this to everyday life. There really are children out there who go through this kind of struggle. So to see it in the form of an anime, just right there in the feelings. Oh my gosh. So, and what makes it ironic though, and this is where it really gets realistic, like no sugarcoating. This is where it really gets intense. The mother, who's been abusing this little girl for years, was abused herself by her own husband. She was abused, and amazingly, her daughter actually tried to protect her that the day she was abused. And now, out of pure anger, this woman decides to beat her daughter. I guess because the color of her eyes reminds her of her husband, or just, I guess, something about her daughter that just reminds her of her abusive husband, and now she's taking it out on her, which is not right. Okay, you should never take pain like that out on someone else. Okay, it's never a good thing. Just because someone has harmed you or did you wrong doesn't mean you should carry it on to the next person, especially your own family. So, and it made me happy to see her, get out alive and finally free from that hellhole. Just honestly, it's very touching. Okay, and so the episodes that carry on after it just kind of it wasn't really that emotional during the rest of the show, because none of the other girls that our main character here tries to rescue goes through what Kale went through. They're not being abused by their family members or anything. They're just regular children going about their lives. Now, the only thing that may get emotional, that may make you, the only thing that may get emotional in the show is when Satoru, who is the main character, he's the one standing in the very far background with his back turned. Satoru, is forced into a coma for 15 years. I believe. Yeah, 15 years. And his mom spends those 15 years helping to keep him alive, making sure that he doesn't lose muscle by exercising different parts of his body. She spends all that time helping him. And then I think one of the other big emotional parts in the show is how Kyo is now a mother herself. She comes to see Satoru as an adult holding her baby. She is a married woman and living a happier life. And it's just, this whole show is just really tense, but very, very good. Now, the one thing that really, I honestly found kind of disturbing and yet weird at the same time is how the killer apparently couldn't live without Satoru, because, even though he's out here trying to stop the killer himself, feels like he can't live without him. And so we end up with a big emotional scene where he just admits that he can't live without him. So what does he do? He tries to kill him and then kill himself as well. But then his plan fails when his friends saved him from falling to his death. You guys probably don't understand what I mean, but Satoru was in a wheelchair, and when he almost fell off the building, because they were on top of a building, the killer lets go of the wheelchair, allowing him to fall to his death, but his friends had something set up below to save him, allowing the killer to eventually get arrested, and for this whole crazy thing to finally blow over. And so all of this started when Satoru here had to go back in time to undo the series of events that eventually leads to the death of his mother by the same killer. So, I think that's pretty much what I have to say about the show. I give it, again, a 10 out of 10. I love it. I strongly suggest that you guys watch it if you haven't. And, well, yeah. If you guys don't know what this show is about, it's about a young manga artist who is 29, who sees what's called a revival, which is a event that causes him to go back in time to to stop bad things from happening. At one point he's sent back to when he's 11 to stop the killings of 3 innocent children. Okay. So, that's basically the show in a nutshell, kind of. I strongly suggest you guys see it. And, well, yeah. Now, there's a live action version of the show, and honestly, the live action version just sucks. I'm sorry. It was okay, but just no. Live action, no. Anime, heck to the yes. So with that said, I'm Mr. David, and I'll see you guys next time. Shalom.